Now 4:30 on WKYT this morning. A woman is behind bars in connection to a scam case we brought you last month. We'll have the details coming up next.
A couple says two men broke into their home during a burglary. Now their dog is missing. We have the details coming up.
And we're learning some new details about a serious crash overnight in Lexington. That story and much more on WKYT this morning.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, July 28th, and we welcome you to WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Let's get a first look at the forecast with Micah.
Well, we're looking outside. We're pretty calm and quiet this morning, but we're still looking back toward the west and still seeing some rumbles of thunder here and there. This is not much out there, but it just still shows there is some energy laying around. It's going to head toward our region once again today, and that'll give us a few thunderstorms to deal with again today. Yesterday, a few of us picked up some rain, and then a few of us did not pick up rain. However, when we went to Eastern Kentucky, boy, it really just sat there and just kept pouring on the rain. So it's pop-up thunderstorms, not going to move all that much. Temperatures there in the 70s. It's humid outside again. And as we spoke about yesterday, each day through Wednesday, it's going to be a carbon copy of each other. Hit and miss storms, and also those temperatures way up there. Humid conditions, too. I'll take you into your latest forecast, show you after Wednesday, because that's when it looks good. That comes up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll take the good, and we'll see you then. Thank you.
New this morning, Lexington police are on the lookout for two men they say broke into a home overnight and attacked the people living there.
Police say just before 11 last night, they were called to a home on Childs Avenue near Georgetown Street. The victims told police they got a knock on their door, and when they did, they say two men in ski masks forced their way in and punched one of them and possibly stole the victim's puppy. They then took off. Authorities are not sure whether or not the dog was stolen or just ran away in all the commotion. The investigation is ongoing now. Also new this morning, a Lexington woman has been arrested after being accused of scamming a woman. Ashley Shackelford is charged with exploitation and theft by deception. Between last July and March, a man named Glenn Stamper had been scamming a 64-year-old woman out of tens of thousands of dollars for home repairs. Authorities say were either not done or done poorly. He was arrested in June for unrelated charges. Shackelford is accused of collecting checks on Stamper's behalf on multiple occasions. She is set to be arraigned today.
We have new information this morning in a pair of breaking news alerts we brought you last night at 11. Late last night, Lexington police were called to a crash on New Circle Road near Richmond Road. They say a car had broken down and was on the side of the road. Another car pulled up alongside it to help. That's when a third vehicle hit the second vehicle, which hit the third. Two people were rushed to UK Hospital with serious injuries. Their conditions are unknown this morning. About the same time, Lexington police were working another serious accident on Providence Lane near Tates Creek Road. Officers say a 7-year-old was skateboarding in the street when a car hit him. They say the child broke his leg. Those injuries aren't considered to be life-threatening.
A frightening attack outside of a central Kentucky home. Investigators say a woman was badly injured by a pack of dogs. Neighbors say Loretta Stevens was in her garden at the time. Investigators say the dogs were being kept nearby. WKYT's Victor Puente has the story.
The Lincoln County Sheriff says 6 of these dogs have been caught. A 7th was shot and killed. He says the man who owns them wasn't living at the home where they were being kept.
She called me and told me to call 911, that she said 10 dogs down, wild dogs down there, a pack of dogs, and that they had tore her to shreds. Please call 911. She was dying.
Loretta Stevens called her neighbor this morning, begging for help. Police say the 7 Presa Canarios had attacked her dogs, then attacked her when she tried to intervene.
I know she had severe bites to the upper arm and a lot of puncture wounds to her leg.
And the ambulance came, and the ambulance people couldn't get out because the dogs surrounded the ambulance and they had to wait to get in to get her.
The owner of the dogs, Chris Pope, had just gotten them back last week. Court documents show they'd been seized by Boyle County Animal Control when he was charged with animal cruelty in April.
And they were released back to him Wednesday. And, 4 days, and here this situation happened in our county.
The man who built the kennel on Pope's property said he believes the cages were tampered with.
What it looks like is a strand in the cage was cut in the door part, and it's the same in all 3.
But Sheriff Folger said he believes the dogs tore their way out.
He hasn't been living there. I think that's just a dropping point for his dogs, to be honest with you. And I'm not happy about it.
The sheriff told me he was pursuing charges of harboring a vicious animal against Chris Pope. In Lincoln County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
All right, now Loretta Stevens is in fair condition this morning at UK Hospital. Over the phone, she told us that she had surgery last night.
A community is remembering a 13-year-old Hardin County girl hit by a car while she was out riding her bicycle. Investigators say Kimberly Currens died Friday afternoon after a car hit her on Grayson Street in the Upton community just outside Elizabethtown. Elizabeth's mother says she drove by the crash scene a short time after the accident.
At that time, I did not know that was my child, so I went home and she wasn't there, and I seen some change on the counter and I got worried.
She says she went back to the scene and saw her daughter's shoe in the road. Her mother says she doesn't know why Kimberly was on the street at the time. Well, nearly a year after a teenager died when a Knox County ambulance hit him, a grand jury has indicted the driver for manslaughter. Investigators now say 25-year-old Kevin French was driving the ambulance while under the influence. Police say 14-year-old Samson Callender was riding his bike at the time. Friday, the driver of the ambulance, Kevin French, was charged for the crash. He's charged with DUI, manslaughter, and speeding, as well as some other charges.
Now, 4:36 on WKYT this morning, a man is facing a murder charge for the death of another man nearly 3 years ago. Roger Kinney is now in jail in Ohio. The Clark County Sheriff's Office believes he killed a man back in May, but the victim's body was not found until last week on a Clark County farm. The sheriff says investigators received a tip a few weeks ago that Kinney had confessed to killing a man and burying him on a farm. Investigators did not find anything then, but last week the sheriff says a man mowing in that area found the decomposed body.
The deceased person had never been reported as missing, which kind of complicates it because he's missing 2.5, almost 3 months.
The sheriff says investigators believe they know who the victim is, but they are waiting for the medical examiner to release the identity. He won't discuss a motive for the murder, but he says investigators are still interviewing people and more charges may be filed.
A potential new site has been chosen for Lexington's People's Bank building. Our news partners at the Herald Leader report that the building could be moved to High Street in Patterson. The Warwick Foundation has been trying to save the old bank building. They still need to raise $850,000 by Thursday. As of last night, they're about $50,000 short of their goal, although they say they have pending grants.
The Boy Scouts of America have ended a ban on gay adult leaders. It was approved by the organization's 80-member National Executive Board. The Boy Scouts will still allow church-sponsored scout units to exclude gay leaders for faith-based reasons. The new policy takes effect immediately. The organization's president, former Defense Secretary Robert Gates, had said in May that the ban was likely to be the target of lawsuits that the Scouts would likely lose.
If you bought seasonings at Kroger recently, we have a recall alert to pass along for you. Kroger's recalled 4 seasonings over fears they could have been contaminated with salmonella. So far, no illnesses have been reported. The recall is for Kroger brand ground cinnamon, Kroger garlic powder, coarse ground black pepper, and Kroger bacon buds. Only certain sell-by dates are affected by the recall. For more information, go to our website, WKYT.com. Well, state leaders say a 3-year-old law designed to fight prescription drug abuse in Kentucky is working. A new University of Kentucky study shows a significant decline in prescription drug abuse statewide since House Bill 1 became law. The study says so-called doctor shopping has decreased by more than 50%. It also says more people are seeking treatment for addiction. But Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear says there's still a whole lot of work to be done.
Some upgrades are now being planned for the inside of Rupp Arena. Monday, the Lexington Center Board approved $15 million in technology upgrades for the nearly 40-year-old facility. Among the changes, a new video scoreboard installed at the center of the arena's ceiling, ribbon scoreboards around the arena, and 4 new video screens in each corner of the arena. Fans will also be able to use wireless internet inside the arena.
And to be able to improve fan experience and fan activation, those are just important things for us to continue to address.
Lexington Center leaders say the upgrades will be financed through the sale of Lexington Center bonds. The upgrades will be rolled out over the next year and a half. So exciting changes down there. Not the major change that the mayor had been seeking, but nevertheless, some good upgrades.
Yeah, I like those upgrades because, you know, sometimes you want to tweet while you're watching the game.
Right, be connected there. 4:40 this time, WKYT This Morning. We're just getting started.
Making mom's friends isn't always easy. Moms Every Day speaks with an author who has some tips on breaking the ice. That's later in the show.
And we're looking back west. Here comes some more rain in the forecast. We have scattered storms out and about today and tomorrow, but after that, it looks really nice. I'll show you that forecast coming up next.